So I just watched Scream 7, and it might be the worst one. Scream 7 was directed by Kevin Williamson and follows Sidney Prescott as she's living a peaceful life with her husband and daughter that is interrupted by the potential that Stu Macher is alive. So there's a little bit of drama behind this movie. The main actress of the previous two Scream films was fired due to her speaking out against the whole Israel-Palestine thing, and she took the side of the Palestinians. And I'm not going to comment on whether or not I agree with her or not, because I review movies, not politics. But what I will say, I don't think anyone should be fired for their political takes, and I think that what happened to her was very sucky. But on the other hand, I review movies, so if you're boycotted this and you're upset that I or other people watch this, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm sorry, but not really. But what I will say is that despite the controversy, I think this movie still sucked. I think that might be one of the worst ones. I can't really say off the top of my head if it's worse than Scream 3, but kind of is. I don't know. I haven't seen those movies in a little bit. I'd have to rewatch it in order to get the full opinion. But as of right now, I'm pretty sure this is the worst one, and I think that it's just really lacking in most qualities. One thing that really rubbed me the wrong way, and I wanted to stay as apolitical on this as possible, but this movie kind of makes it impossible to do that because it's constantly taking stabs at Scream 6. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't like Scream 6. I thought that it was not that great. Definitely not as bad as this or Scream 3. But I don't think this movie has any right to take any sort of jabs at Scream 6 because this movie's worse. Like, it gives a layer of, I'm not sure how to describe it, almost, I don't want to say evil per se, but it definitely makes the whole drama even worse because they're trying so hard to discredit the previous film. But yeah, this movie was just shot in a very bland way. It's very studio-feely, and there's really not even a scene that I can think of where they just kind of lock in. Like Scream 6, again, I don't think it was a good movie, but at the very least it had the train scene, whereas this pretty much has nothing that I can think of, no cool kills or anything like that. There might be one cool kill that I won't spoil, but it's just, there was really nothing that stood out to me. It's very boring looking, and the cinematography is just very uninspired, and it feels very, very studio-y. And kind of the DNA of the Scream franchise is the meta irony. And I know that a lot of people hear that and kind of roll their eyes, but I mean, back in the 90s, that wasn't really done before. And I think that the first four minus the third kind of did that meta irony very well. And after Scream 4, it's there, but in a millennial Rick and Morty sense. But even then, it's kind of forgotten, and that's definitely the case with this film. They kind of forget the whole point of what the Scream franchise is, and that is to kind of poke fun at the slasher genre. And whenever this film does try to do that, again, it just feels very Rick and Morty, millennial sort of thing. I just did not like it at all. I didn't find it funny. In fact, this was probably the least comedy Scream movie. It seems like it really wants to play it straight, and the moments that are played for laughs are kind of meant to be like nostalgia bait. And that's another thing about this movie, is that it's very nostalgia baity. And I'm not going to get it too into spoilers, but you know, as I said in the synopsis, you know, Stu Macher is back, and they use that to kind of bait the old fans to watching this movie, and there's just a lot of references and stuff. And I haven't seen the Scream movies in a couple of years, so I'm not that fresh on everything. So a lot of the references and stuff kind of fell on deaf ears for me, and I definitely didn't catch a lot of it, and a lot of it was just kind of like cringy, to be honest. And there's a lot of millennials in my audience that absolutely loved it, but I am a normal person that's not driven by nostalgia, and I'm able to look at this from a lens that's not from childhood nostalgia and wonder and whatnot. Another thing is that the opening scene for this movie is probably one of the worst ones. It pretty much has nothing to do, actually, not pretty much, it absolutely has nothing to do with the main story whatsoever. It's never tied into the plot. In fact, I don't even know if it's the same ghost face that we see throughout this film. It is very dumb. Like I felt like it was very cheap and very forced. They could have at the very least somehow tied it into the main plot, but they don't. They just forget it by the end of the film. And the revealing of the ghost face, this might be the worst ghost face reveal of all time. The characters that it ends up being are not significant to the plot whatsoever, so it feels very cheap and very like, what? Like, I had to remember who the people were for a second. Like, I had to think, like, where did I see these people? And it's very just dumb and very poorly written. It just is not set up at all. Their motivations are kind of dumb, in my opinion. And yeah, definitely a terrible ghost face reveal. And might be a controversial opinion, but I think Courtney Cox sucks. I don't think I really like her in that much of anything. I don't even really think she was that memorable in the original films, but it just really stood out to me here just how much I dislike her. I think she was pretty much just here for the nostalgia bait. I don't think she was really ever in a horror type situation. But yeah, this movie was not good. I think that the controversy kind of makes it, like the controversy on top of all the jabs that it makes at the previous film, it just feels very petty and very childish, and no one really cares. I think most people like Scream 6. I'm definitely in the minority, so I have no idea why the film felt the need to be like, oh, well, what's her face? Sidney Prescott wasn't in the last film, and it's like, who cares? Like, I don't care at all. Why in the world are you even talking about this right now? But yeah, this movie is really bad. Probably the worst Scream movie, and I'm giving Scream 7 a 3 out of 10. Thank you for watching the video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to follow my letterbox and check out my main channel. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.